Hi friends, have you also watched a lot of movies and documentaries on Adolf Hitler, the most intriguing personality of the 20th century, and came out still not understanding how this tyrant could first capture the imagination of the German people and then conquer such a large part of the world? Well, if that is the scenario, let me show you how. Okay, if visual effects etc are what you would expect from this video, I would suggest you stop watching this video right now. But if information is entertainment for you, watch on, because I will show you in a very simple and yet informative manner how this man was able to reach the heights that he did. Okay, Adolf Hitler, a lot of people assume, was a very smart man and a mesmerizing speaker. I assure you, he was neither. He only really won one single battle in his life. Which one? Watch for my few videos to figure out. Okay, and I'll also tell you what is the only thing that he possessed, really speaking. Why do I say this with so much confidence? Because I spent 3 decades of my life researching on Adolf Hitler. I started off as a very young, geeky teenager reading books on Hitler. Then I went on to his generals like Beck, etc. Then all the Nazi party leaders like Goering, Himmler, Goebbels, etc. Then the British, Churchill, Stalin, Roosevelt, and every single aspect. Till I read hundreds of books on the World War II. Intrigued by this seminal event in world history, my attitude changed from a teenager, who typically is very what do you call interested in villainous characters, to understanding the larger events at play, the other countries at play, to finally realizing that what the tyrant was for himself and what led to his rise and fall. Okay, so in the next few short videos, I will give you in a few minutes what I've spent 30 years researching. So bear with me and enjoy the videos. Today I will start off with the background of his rise and the basic structure which led to him rising from being a nobody to being the dictator of Germany. To understand that, you need to quickly appreciate one thing, that what happened in history was the Germans are the biggest linguistic and overall population of Europe as a community. Okay, but they were always divided into multiple kingdoms, very similar to how the British found India. Okay, many small and large kingdoms. They were not united. That is why Britain and France were able to go ahead and conquer most of the world. But in the 19th century, Germany started consolidating. Two major kingdoms, Prussia in the north and Austria-Hungary Empire in the south, were in the lead to consolidate and capture all the other smaller kingdoms. Now, Prussia won the battle. Prussia was a highly militaristic state. It was able to capture, consolidate, and bring to what you can say to it all the other states, led by its very able chancellor. Chancellor is something like what we have, like a prime minister. There was a king of Prussia, but Bismarck was the chancellor, who is recognized as one of the best politicians, strategists, and smartest people in the 19th century. The great Bismarck consolidated Germany. Austria tried to oppose, they defeated Austria, and then France tried to attack them. They took the battle to France, taking their troops all the way to Paris, signing a humiliating treaty for France, and making one strong consolidated Germany. Now, this consolidated Germany, the moment Germany got united, it immediately became the biggest industrial nation in Europe and the most powerful military in Europe. Immediately, people like Britain, etc., were threatened by it. It is the rise of Germany that made others arrange into groups. The other problem was that while Bismarck thought that he had achieved his life's aim, the next generation, like the new prince Kaiser William at later point of time, and his advisors wanted to now go beyond. They wanted colonies. They wanted the kind of acknowledgement that Britain had. I don't know if it resonates with today's times. One, the industrial powerhouse, the other the global trade leader, Britain. The confrontation was set, and therefore the European nations came into two groups: Britain, France, and Russia on one side, Germany and its followers, Austria-Hungary and Turkey on the other side. When finally the First World War started, I will not go into the cause of the First World War. I will save it for another video for First World War. Millions in the European capitals, including a struggler called Adolf Hitler, celebrated on the streets of Germany because they thought that they were going to fight for the motherland. Most of these people thought that they would easily achieve victory over their enemies. But when the war carried on for a year or so, everybody realized that this is going to be a war of attrition. You will have to tire your enemy out. There was no other way. There was a stalemate. On the Western Front, Britain and France's army had reached a stalemate with Germany. On the eastern side, Germany and Austria-Hungary had stopped Russia. So all these countries use their secret service to kind of create revolutions in the other country. Germany was the first to be successful, and the Russian Revolution took place in 1917. It is said that when Lenin left for Russia, Lenin had been in exile in Europe, he went with a train full of gold. Immediately the new communist Russia signed a peace treaty with Germany and went out of the war. The German army of the east was freed to come to the western side, and they made one last attempt to defeat Britain and France. But by the time Germany had angered America enough that America was now going to come into the war, their last effort to try and win the battle failed. And though Germany remained undefeated, mind you, the German army and people had realized, at least the politicians had realized, that they cannot win the war. It was at this time that Woodrow Wilson, the President of America, came up with this famous, almost messianic 14 points. It was like a very, very goody 14 points approach to negotiations, where like self-determination for everybody and all goody peace treaty points. Okay, and the Germans felt if this was the general peace treaty, okay, very cool, very nice, and then maybe we can sign for peace and surrender. In fact, the Woodrow Wilson's points were so dreamy that many colonies, like in some people in India, also thought that based on that, even India or somebody may get independence, or at least Britain may give some freedom to India some way. But when the actual peace treaty was signed in Versailles, smart British, French and even American politicians sidelined Woodrow Wilson's several points, and the peace treaty that was signed was extremely humiliating as far as Germans believed. Many new East European countries were created out of the Austria-Hungary Empire. Countries like Czechs, Slovaks and Czechoslovakia became Czechoslovakia, Romanians, etc., Hungarians. But many German-speaking lands were also given to these countries. The large part of Germany which faced France, called the Rhineland, had to be completely demilitarized. No German military can be there. German military was reduced to some say around 1 lakh people, which is nothing. No major air force or navy, etc. And most of all, the entire blame of the war was put on Germany, and the entire costs of Britain and France were to be paid by Germany. Had it actually continued, Germany would have had to pay war, you can say, indemnity to Britain and France till the 1970s or so. This treaty made many Germans feel humiliated and set the base. And since most of the wartime army was now released, there were millions of jobless youth with war experience, leading to ruffians on the road. This is the backdrop in which Adolf Hitler finds himself and many like himself, which set the stage for a man like him to rise and become the dictator of Germany. The second video in this series will talk about how he managed to become dictator and what were the circumstances that led to his rise. I hope you enjoyed the circumstances that led to the beginning of his rise, and watch out for my next video. Thank you. Enjoy the video which I follow up with this, and like and subscribe. Bye.